All right, this is People versus Miles, Robert Baker. This matter was charged as a felony methamphetamine charge, although there wasn't very much, but it was needles. They're a fairly controlled substance. I'm not sure if it was methamphetamine or heroin. I'll have to take another look, but needles scare me either way. The matter was set for the 12th. He failed to appear, I guess, on the 11th, and he called in. Mr. Baker was high the day he entered a plea. He was sleeping through much of the proceeding and struggling. Then he missed the court date, and then we rescheduled it for this morning. So he's here today. That's a plus. But I'm not really sure what to do here. Mr. Truckee, what would you like me to know?
I think Mr. Baker is at that point in life where things have got to change. And they're either going to change drastically for the worse, or they're going to change at least marginally for the better. And I think that a probation would give him a resource in Three Rivers or in the community here that could give him that opportunity for things to change for the better. I don't believe Mr. Baker to have an extensive criminal record of any kind. Your Honor, I think, is aware of him and his circumstances in a judicial notice sort of way in the community. But I think that he's somebody that is kind of ready for some help to come in and try to unpackage all of the things that led him to being where he is today. You understand Mr. Baker's homeless, does have some supports in Mildred and her daughter. And, you know, he's been doing some work for a fellow, some landscaping work to try to keep his mind not wandering toward use. He's doing about the best he can with what he's got, which isn't very much. So I would just ask the court to be merciful and allow him a chance to do a probation to try to extend that hand to lift him up out of the gutter, essentially.
Mr. Baker, what would you like me to know?
I haven't been high in a day and a half. I have been doing the best I can. Like Mr. Truckee said, I've been doing a little landscaping work for Adam Titoff and his mother. To not getting paid, but it's keeping my mind occupied. I would like to try the probation.
Well, where are you staying?
I've been staying on Adam Titoff's property. Well, it's his mother's.
Which is where?
Canal Street. Through
Okay. Just out in the back, like camping out there or something?
Yeah, and then I stay at Mildred Hinton's
Mhm.
part of the time too. So,
Now, who is Mildred to you?
just this kind of a support, you know, like
Was she friends of your mother's?
No, I met Mildred through her daughter, Melissa Simpson. And she's actually been the biggest help these past few years as far as the support system.
But my fear is I'm just putting you on probation to just fail. You don't, what money you get, you use to buy drugs, and I don't even want to guess where you're getting your money. You need some clean time.
Your Honor, if you do send me to jail, I'm still gonna be homeless when I get out, and I'm gonna have nothing, because that's what happens when people go to jail. All their stuff. So the little things that I do have, I won't have anything, and I'll still be homeless. To give me the chance to at least fight.
All right, well, you had a previous charge in 2021 for disorderly person. Was charged with something else and you pled to disorderly and you haven't paid the fine. It was a minimum allowable fine, $125 or 2 days from October of 2021, and you didn't pay the fine. So to put you on a probation when you can't even pay a $125 fine in 2 years is a fantasy. What you need is like an intensive inpatient treatment program, and those don't even really work, particularly for methamphetamine. The relapse rate for methamphetamine treatment is extremely high. There's no good answer to this question. So is the struggle methamphetamine or is it opioids?
Methamphetamine.
That's what I thought. And so many of our people are. And so I give you a fine that you won't pay. I could give you a probation that you can't afford. You have to pay for drug and alcohol testing. You have to get here. You have to do classes. And that's not really adequate. What you need is some inpatient. But this is a not relatively, it's a minor set of facts. You're stumbling around and the police come in contact with you and you got some of your possessions with you and they find a first aid kit with some needles in it. And it isn't like you were really doing anything. You were just.
He stopped me for riding on the wrong side of the road.
Right. So it wasn't much of a crime at all. And then they found these needles, which they thought were heroin. So Miles, you need lots of help. Then this ain't much of a crime. And they sent the stuff, they went to all the effort to send it all to the crime lab and it came back not as heroin, but methamphetamine. And whoever's selling you methamphetamine has a special ring in hell reserved for them. But I'm just afraid we're gonna find you frozen in a ditch someplace. You're certainly employable, but you're not employable because you're struggling with addiction. When's the last time you worked someplace?
Many, many years.
How old are you?
30. Be 31 in October.
And there's really no reason for that. There were jobs all over the place. You couldn't walk down the street without stumbling over a job, but not in the shape that you're in. I don't want to set you up. I don't know what to do. I'm going to give you a fine that you won't pay because you don't have any money. You didn't pay the last fine. You can't afford to be on probation. You need an intensive probation, but for possessing 2 emptied syringes, that ain't exactly the crime of the century. This is more like a disorderly person like the previous one was. But you didn't pay the fine for that. I think you might have paid a little bit. Let me look. You're on a payment plan. No, I don't think you ever paid anything on that. How'd you get here today?
Mildred Hinton.
Bless her heart. Why won't she let you live there? Because of your addiction?
Yeah, it's on and off.
Yes.
I stay there a little bit.
I'm gonna order 8 days credit 1, leaving 7 days to serve. I'm gonna wipe out that other fine you owe. Gonna get 7 days of clean.
So I'm going to jail.
You're going to jail. You're gonna get 3 meals a day and about a week to get a little bit clean. But I'm not even gonna assess any fine because you won't pay it. Regarding the other case, I'm gonna order 2 days, credit 2 days and wipe out the fine. And that old disorderly from 2021. the crime was not much. The crime was essentially being an addict. And you need help.
And sending me to jail is not the way to go.
Since you've done zero to ask for any help, you get a fine, you don't pay it. You have an addiction, you were high when you came in here before and slept through out of it. Paying, going to jail isn't gonna help it. But I don't have another answer. I will contact Lisa about seeing if you wanna get in a program. We can set something up while I got a hold of you at the jail, which is another reason why I'm doing this. So we'll see how much you wanna be in a program. You can go to the officer.
I'll let Edward know for you.
Someone named Lisa is gonna come see you about treatment. We'll see whether you're really interested or not.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. In 216160M, failed to pay for disorderly. 2 days credit 0, leaving 2 days to serve concurrent with this. So I will email Lisa Antonelli at the jail and see if they can find a placement for him. He probably won't want to do that, but if he does, maybe we can send him at someplace inpatient. But he's not doing very well on the path he's on. Thank you, Ross.
Yep. Thank you.
I did 0 fine and costs. Because he isn't gonna be able to pay anything.